it's Friday Night Live, 365. We party with Sharika, yo, she keeping it live. We got the people on the couch, need to get up on your feet. Do I have your attention? It's the 6th day of the week.
Friday Night Live, 365. Made it through the week, now it's time to unwind. I got my girl Sharika, and she's telling the truth. Are you paying attention? Or she's talking to you?
Party people, listen up, we got the guests and the experts. Great conversation every Friday for the record. 7 p.m. Tell your people and your friends. Here we go, start the show, let the combo begin.
Friday Night Live, 365. Made it through the week, now it's time to unwind. I got my girl Sharika, and she's telling the truth. So get ready, cause she's talking to you.
10-9-8, quiet on the set radio. 765, camera rolling, ayo, start the show. 4, 3, 2, 1.
365.
Let's go!
Hello, Friday Night Live family. It is Sharika, and I got Angenique with me, my little sister, and we are going to talk to you today all about money. Now, I know you're probably saying, well, Sharika, you've been missing in action all year. And I know, don't judge me, judge your mama, okay? Yes, I've been taking a break to relax, relate, release, and just get some things together because I want to be able to better educate our community on finances, budget, money, and all things to do with real estate and things like that to take us to the next level in our money and our finances and our thinking, okay? Because most time people think I need more money, but it's that we need better thinking to acquire the money and what to do next once the money comes. So me and my sister was talking about money over the phone. I was like, girl, we just need to go live. So here we are. Hello.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
And so we were talking about, how to acquire multiple streams of income. So a lot of things she was putting me up on game. So things that we can do as far as like the ebook to put it on the tablet and make it more digital. Cause you know me, I am from, where PDFs was cool. But don't judge me, judge your mama. So I'm stepping into the digital age. So let's talk about multiple streams of income. So my favorite multiple stream of income is real estate. And so, but we were actually talking about ETFs and life insurance and different things like that. So, Angenique, take it away.
All right, you guys. So I have something planned out for you guys. So this is my personal map plan, and let me get this closer. You can follow along with this map plan or make your own. So for income, you always want to have multiple streams of income when you're investing, just so that you can have minimum risk. So
And
income,
when
you
you
can,
say minimum risk, tell the people what minimum risk means.
meaning that not losing the money that you're investing in.
Right. So you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. For
Yeah.
instance, so if you have one job and you lose that job, you no longer have no income. But if you have a job, ebook making money, you have ETFs that's making money, you have life insurance going for you, and you have some real estate. If one stream of income go down, you still have four.
Yeah.
If two streams of income go down, you have three. 9 times out of 10, all five is not gonna go down at one time. And if you have yours in life insurance, that's you adding to it. And I'm not talking about term insurance, but we'll get into that later. I just wanted to give you an example of not putting all your eggs in a basket. Go for it.
Yep. So But this is my personal plan. You can follow if you want, or you can make your own plan map plan. And so my income is my employer, and then I have some digital products and investments. And I would like to say that credit is a form of income because with credit you can use other people's money. So I'm going to say credit.
You can use your money to leverage to get somebody else's. Okay, get somebody else's money.
Yep, so you can either use your credit or use other people's money. And so with these multiple, excuse my son, y'all, he likes to do this all the time when I'm in meetings at work. So with these multiple streams of income, you can take you can take your income and invest into stock. I'm sorry, you can pull from your income and get you a Vanguard account or a Fidelity or a TD Ameritrade account. Whichever one, I prefer Vanguard because I've been with them for so long, and I've been investing into my IRA account with them. So you
And
want to,
Vanguard has the lowest fees of those three.
yes,
That's why I like Vanguard better. They are more for the people than they are for themselves and lining their own pockets.
yeah, and a lot of us have Vanguard or Fidelity because our employer offer 401k, and you're able to invest into your IRA, Roth accounts, and other accounts through your employer. So you can go through your employer, or you can go through an individual account. And I would say individual account because the employer will have like what am I trying to say? The employer will have like stuff set up with this company as like
So
a third.
normally your employer have just your 401k set up.
Yeah,
So which means that if your 401k, most companies do a match. So they might match up to 5%. So 5% of your income. If you put 5% in, or if you put 10% in, they'll match up to 5% or up to 6%, depending upon the employer. So you have to check with your personal employer, but you can also have accounts outside of that, because
yeah,
outside of that, you can still be with Vanguard, but you want to set up a Roth IRA, which is after tax. Your IRA is before tax. So
right.
either, that's up to you to do your own research, but go for it.
Yeah, make sure you do your own research, but this is my personal map plan to financial freedom. So I'm going to take my income and invest into Vanguard Roth RA that's already taxed from your net. It pulls from your net, not your gross, because it's already taxed. So once you invest into our Roth RA, then you invest into index funds and index stocks. And index funds are like ETFs, and then I will give you guys the names of the ETFs, but give you like 2 seconds. I'm gonna start from the bottom to erase. Let me start from the top. So once we have invested money,
Y'all 2 seconds.
once we
Well,
have
y'all better hit
invested,
the pause button, and then if y'all watching the replay, hit the pause and just take a moment.
yes.
Y'all know that.
So once you invest your money into Roth IRA, I would like to say at least $500 a month. You can do more than that. You can do every 2 weeks. Every time you get paid, automatically have your money from your check to go into your Roth account. You could do 500 every 2 weeks if you get paid every 2 weeks. Um, and
Or you
so,
can do less. So I don't
huh?
want people. This is her personal. So I don't want people to think, oh, I got to start at $500. You can start with $25 if that's all
Yeah,
you have. She's starting at 5 because she has more discretionary income. Go for it.
right. So your Roth IRA account, you want to invest into index funds. And I would say this is for like long term investments or long term, like for retirement, not for a multiple stream of income. It's like a long term. So index stocks, and you're going to invest into ETFs. And hold on, let me get my book. I left it over here.
Now, why she getting her book? She's showing y'all how to where your money should flow.
Yeah,
So a
so
lot of people get money and then they go buy stuff because we've never given our community the information to tell them where to put their money to make more money. And this is just one vehicle that she's telling you.
okay, so these ETFs are common ETFs that people love to invest in. And when I mean people, I mean YT people.
Are you talking about caucus?
Yeah, the Edomites. So BOOBGTSLYV. And then for index stocks, AAPL
Apple.
MSFT Microsoft and BRK.B.
So those are some examples. The what she's putting on there are the tickers. Those are the ticker symbols for each of the items. So start with the first one. What's the first one?
So these are just stocks, but these are ETFs. Now I have not did a lot of research for these ETFs, but I've been doing stocks. But now that I've done research on index funds, I'm gonna start doing research on ETFs to invest into ETFs as well.
Okay, so do you know exactly what ETFs are?
No.
Listen, we gonna all be out here learning
But
together,
somebody,
okay?
no, I don't know what ETFs are. Like, I can't tell you what ETFs stand for, but so basically, this man, he's like my teacher. He's my real estate. He was my old real estate teacher, but he retired now, and he done made millions, and he's like living his best life. And he the one that told me about investing into ETFs through my Vanguard account. I have not did any research on ETFs, but from what I've heard and known about index funds, this is the deal right here to go. But I have invested into stocks. So.
Right. So ETFs are similar to stocks. So it's similar, but not. It's kind of where you pool your money or investors, small time investors. Some of them are big investors, but you pool your money into either a sector of the market or um, like a particular index. How do I want to explain this? I don't do it enough to tell you all how to do it.
But that's where the money at, okay?
I do. I am more into stocks, so I can tell you what stocks
Yeah,
is.
I'm more into
But
stock too, but
she's getting us into something a little bit more different. So ETF. So let me look it up. Hold on, look. Let's look it up. That's her phone. Hello, ETF specialist. So
it's my work phone.
let's see. and I'm on my phone because I'm gonna figure it out with y'all. Okay. So it says ETFs or exchange trade funds are exactly the name it implies. Funds that trade on the exchange generally track a specific index. When you invest in ETFs, you get a bundle of assets you can buy or sell during market opening hours, potentially low risk and exposure, while helping diversify your portfolio. So that was according to Charles Schwab. I have Charles Schwab as well as Vanguard. So I like them for different reasons. So I trade stocks on Vanguard. I mean Charles Schwab because that's how I was introduced, and I'm just more familiar with their layout. And but I do my Roth IRA through Vanguard because their fees are lower.
Okay, so and another thing that I learned with ETFs, you want to make sure that the SP 500 is 10% or more. So, say that you were doing the $500 a month. Say you were doing the $500 a month, and then you're getting 10% of your earnings, and you make 40K of that. $500 times 12 is, what's 500 times 12?
500 times 12,
Yeah. And you do this for
6,000.
5 years. You said how much?
6,000.
Six.
500 times 12 is 6,000.
Okay, then times about five.
Times it by
That's
5, 30,000.
30,000.
Yep.
Okay, so you're spending 30,000 for 5 years into your ETFs, and so your profit that you're taking is 10K. Would you rather profit 10K in 5 years by saving in your investment funds, or would you rather put money into a savings account that's collecting dust and not earning any interest or making any profit for you in 5 years?
Well, baby, I got a Roth IRA. So, yes. And I do a self directed Roth, and it probably does do the index. I normally use mine for real estate. Um, but no, it don't collect dust because on my Roth, on average for the last few years, I've been earning anywhere from like 9 to 8.5% on my money.
Yeah, so I'm comparing this to like a regular savings account.
Oh no, your regular savings account ain't making you
Yeah, it's not making
most
you.
regular is like 0.1%.
Yeah, it's not making you no money. No, you're not earning that much interest, and you're not. It's no profit at all. So saving money is not gonna make you no money, but investing money will.
Right. And don't be afraid to invest. That's what
And
I guess I
again,
want us to know today. Don't be afraid to invest because a lot of people are afraid, but we're just giving you the basic information. Just like I said, when it comes to ETFs, that's not my wheelhouse. I don't teach stocks because it's not, I don't teach stocks or ETFs or none of that because it's not my wheelhouse. But I told her as we learn, we're starting to learn ETFs together. So as we learn, we will come live and teach y'all
yep.
because we can learn
Again,
together.
I'm on my journey. Again, I'm on my journey to financial freedom. So this is my map plan for me and what I'm doing to invest into my Vanguard and invest into index funds and um, saving money into my high yield or in life insurance for me to um, have a long term goal for retirement.
Okay, and then tell the people when you want to retire.
So I planned on retiring at the age of 35. I'm 30 years old right now, and so at the age of 35, I plan on quitting my job and living my best life.
Okay, not Yeah, but not that simple. So she is gonna quit her job in the sense
And
of
work for
retire from
myself,
her. So she's
basically.
gonna work for herself, but in these next 5 years, she's gonna allow her money to work for her, so that when she does stop working in 5 years, then that money is continuing to work. So for the most part, so that's her a part of her 5 year plan or what she's doing to invest. So Roth IRA, like we were just discussing, is more for long term.
Yeah.
So it can be for short term and you can max it out. It's a max number every year. Let me see if that number went up for 2023. Hold on. And I'm Googling what is the max return for Roth IRA in 2023.
And you can withdraw from your Roth account.
Yes. And a Roth account is after tax contribution. So for 2023, you can max out with $6,500 if you're under the age of 50. If you're over the age of 50, it's 7,500. So, but most people think Roth IRA, they think savings account. No, it's more money and you can pull it out like a savings account, but it's you get way more, you earn way more interest on that money. So in my Roth IRA, I normally max it out, but I also then use it as a wealth tool for down payments for property and different stuff like that. I always make sure that majority, at least 80% of my income is making money for me. A lot of us have been taught the other way around. We save 20% and we spend 80% on living, which means you're gonna be working till you about 65, 70 at Walmart being a greeter to my, hey, how you doing, boo?
Right.
And no offense to those that are doing that, because some people clearly work there as a greeter for their own personal, just to have some enjoyment and have something to do because they like to be around people. But some people have no choice. That's something they have to do in their 60s and 70s because they did not know financial literacy to make good decisions. So there's a difference between the one that has to and the one that wants to. You always want to be in a position where you want to and don't have to. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So tell us about the Roth IRA. I see that on your board.
Okay, so basically, so if you want to invest into something else and you don't know where to pull the money from, you can always pull money from your Roth account. So we're gonna pull money from here, and we're gonna call that income, and then we're gonna invest that money into real estate property for a down payment for a property, for a rental property, or you can go put that money into high yield savings or life insurance, whichever you prefer.
And not just any old life insurance. Life insurance is not created equal. Like I am learning and have learned over the last like 2 years, it is not created equal. Term insurance is you can't pull. So when she say life insurance, I don't want y'all to get misconstrued. It's different type of insurance. So you have like whole life, which has like different dimensions of that, which is a lot of people know now about the IUL, which is your universal life insurance, and it has like different other terms, but that's like your whole life, meaning you put money in, it earns some type of interest of some sort, and you're able to borrow against it without a penalty, without a fee. You just have to pay it back because it's your own money. It
Yeah.
does take away from the death benefits, but the thing about it, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, well, the death benefits go down," but if you pay it back, it does make the death benefit go back up. But the goal, we're on this earth and we're living the way we're supposed to. Just say for 100 years. What do you want that 100 years to look like? Life insurance on the whole life side. On the term side, you can do term insurance for 20 years, 10 years, which means If you die within that time, it pays out to your family. And then you can add some annuities and things like that. You can add that to either plan, whether it be whole or whether it be term. Annuities are where you earn your interest on your term insurance. But with term, like I said, your rate is cheaper, which means you pay less per month. And then you get into your annuities and things like that, which is kind of similar to your ETFs. It earns money over time, but it's okay. I like both. I like the security of knowing that not only is my life taken care of, but also my death. Because with a whole
Yeah.
life, universal life, once you get to a certain age, it can start paying you out based on your benefits. So, but she's gonna go into high yield versus real estate. Go for it.
Yeah, so me personally, I'm just gonna go ahead and do both because I just want to make sure that I have this long term savings, and I also want to make sure that I'm still investing my money, still making more money within those 5 years of me wanting to retire. So so high yield savings. I would say the difference between high yield and life is that life insurance, um, you get the death benefits, and high yield doesn't have any death benefits unless like you have a beneficiary or someone that's payable upon death on that account.
Right. And it's only gonna give them what you got in there. Versus life
Exactly.
insurance is gonna give you whatever the max. So if that death benefit is $100,000, you'll get their $100,000 even if you don't have $100,000 in it.
Right. Exactly.
Now your savings
So
account ain't gonna give you that benefit. If you
that
ain't got
is
that but
that
two
is
dollars in
true.
there, that's what the people gonna get on your
It's
bill.
still important. It's very important to have life insurance. It's
Correct.
still important to have life insurance. So just make sure that you're doing your own research.
Please do. And all life insurance is not created equal.
Yep. And some high yield savings account, make sure that you're doing your research on high yield savings account because you do have to some companies you do have to have a minimum of like think 5,000 or some companies do 50,000. So you need to make sure that you're doing your research. I did do some research on a couple of high yield savings accounts that you guys can apply to that have a high APY. Um, Capital One, which is who I'm with, and then Discover, Ally Bank, and Marcus Bank. Yeah. So Discover, Ally, Capital One. Oh, and then Webull also. And all of these people are 4% or more. Webull is at 4%, but I really like Webull because you get to have a high yield savings with them, invest into stock, trade in stock, and also they have a Roth account as well. So
Okay. I ain't know we did all that.
yeah, and so if you invest into real estate property, you can put. So I haven't invested into real estate yet, but that is my plan. So this is part of my map. But Sharika can she can discuss more about putting down payments on the house and whatnot. But my plan for real estate property was to take money from my Roth account, get at least 10 to 20K for down payment on property, or just to make sure I have enough money for closing costs and all that, etc. And what Sharika told me earlier was start off with a duplex or triplex or a quadplex where you can stay in a unit on one of the units and then rent out the other units that will pay off your mortgage quicker, or you could pay towards your principal and then pay off your.
Absolutely, because most people, especially younger, y'all 9 times out of 10 don't think about y'all think, hey, I got a job and I can afford to pay the mortgage. But what if something happens to you and you're no longer able to afford it? So having a duplex, triplex, or quadplex, and that just means one unit. So a single unit is a single family home. A duplex is two. So you ever seen the houses side by side? They connected. Three is just three units side by side or stacked on top of each other. Four is either four units, like doors is boom, 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 and then one above or two. So it'd be two, two, and then two, two.
I
So
seen
it's
a
kind of like a
nice one.
box.
I seen a nice one. They had like one at the top, then two at the top, and then two at the bottom, and it had like garages attached. That was nice.
Now that's why I say it depends on. But if you buy land, you can create your own. So, and a lot of people think that it is more steps. But if you get with a licensed builder, they can do a lot of those steps for you, um, that you don't have to do on your own. Now, when you do a duplex, quadplex, or triplex, you're looking at, staying in one as an owner occupant, and then renting out the other two, or one, two, or three. Why is that? Why does that even matter? One, if you got a duplex, you live in one. I didn't mean to do that like that. But you live in one, and then you turn around and let them rent out the other one. That pays your mortgage, taxes, and insurance. Okay, depending on where you get it, it should be able to take care of your housing, which means instead of getting government assistance, you just created your own government assistance. Okay, free housing. You might have to pay your own light bill, water bill, gas bill, but depends on where you are located. You don't even have to do that. If you are in a triplex, now you can have somebody that pays not only your mortgage, because you have another, but the second person will pay your light bill, water bill, gas bill, food, clothes, shelter. So now instead of getting those sugar daddies or sugar mamas for y'all fellas out there, you now got two tenants that do it for you. Okay, so they get the money and they are paying all your expenses.
Okay, a
So,
sugar daddy can definitely be another source of income.
and
Just keep that in mind.
I'm just saying, and can. And then
Um,
your fourth tenant can pay any maintenance. Because a lot of people think, oh man, what if there's a maintenance issue with a unit? How am I going to afford to fix it or whatever? So your second and third tenant can be for your maintenance. Now, the way I do it is one tenant, if I'm in a quadplex, me personally, one tenant will pay the mortgage, one tenant will pay for anything that breaks. The other tenant, which is in the fourth unit, will pay for anything that needs to be fixed now. Meaning, the water heater is going to go out, fix now. Or there is a thing called, oh God, it's not home insurance. It is, if I wouldn't have told y'all what it was, I would have thought about it. But I might put it in the comment section. But you pay it every month. It's a maintenance plan. That's what it is. So it's a maintenance plan, which you can get with different companies. American Insurance is one of them. But with American Insurance, you pay them on a monthly. It can be $30 to $40. But if anything breaks, then you just pay a fee for somebody to come out. So that fee may be $50, depending upon the plan that you have. It may be $50 or $75 for them to come out, and then they fix it.
yeah.
So it's not that difficult to be a homeowner at
And you
all.
could be your own property manager.
And you can be your own property manager. And then there's things like Rent Better that will take your rent out of your tenants, because they don't even have to know you own the property. So you can own it, live in it, and they don't have to know that you actually own it. And then you can use all of these tools that are at your disposal to collect the rent from them every month on repeat. So they can collect your rent. All of that. A lot of people like, oh, well, I don't want to be a landlord. But think about not necessarily being the landlord if you don't want to do that, because a lot of people don't. There are companies out here that are called property management companies. And you can look up some and see, go through their reviews and see which one is best for you. Their percentage of your income. So say you're getting $1,000 on one unit per month, they may take anywhere from 8 to 20% just to manage your property. Now, for me, I don't think that you have to do that because you can go with a company that does plumbing. Your two major things that you're going to have is HVAC and plumbing. If you partner with a company that you don't have to pay every month to come out and service the unit, you can tell your tenant, say, hey, when you have an AC issue, this is the company you'll call. They'll come out and they'll send me or your company the bill. You can go to a plumbing company, partner with them so they know to come service your unit. So, your plumbing. So if your tenant have any issues, they just know who to call. And that stuff don't cost you on a monthly basis. They just have to know when you have that issue to reach out to them and not you. Okay.
Yeah.
And if they have too many issues, then you might want to look into new
Yeah,
tenants.
that Rent Better is good. I
And
wish
Rent
I
Better
would have.
does a lot. So I use them, but they do a whole lot. Being able to collect your rent on time, they do your background checks and they can log in and you can see if the people can even afford to pay you every month. Um, it said, okay, so this is somebody maker. It says, well, it's just me or y'all Chevy teaching me, y'all ladies. What?
What do you see that at?
I'm gonna show it.
Oh, I can't even see. I can't. Whatever's
It says,
letting
well,
me.
it's just me, y'all. My name's Chevy. Teach me y'all ways, sis. They real name is Chevy. So when
Oh,
I
okay.
see Chevy, I
Hey.
was like, what? What are you planning? Yeah, so we're trying to basically get stuff to the community. And I'm just using my little sister because based on her plan. I just wanted to come on here with her to show her plan because she's trying to retire in 5 years. And I wanted really for her to walk it out because a lot of people don't never see nobody in the process. We see everybody on their glow up, like, hey, I'm here, I did this, I'm there. But
How
most
did
people
you
don't
get
see
there?
it
That's
on
what I
the
want to
glow up.
know.
Right. You don't see it on the glow up, so you don't even know if what you're about to do or the moves you're about to make, even the right moves. You just be moving. And sometimes you be moving wrong, thinking you're doing the right thing, or you moving because you want to make movement. But sometimes just because you're moving, you could be on a treadmill and you ain't going nowhere, but you're moving. So our goal is just to be able to bring awareness because we don't want our community to be continue to move on a treadmill without making movement. Now, everything that we're discussing, please do your own research, especially into your ETFs and things like that, because that's not my wheelhouse, so I'm not going to speak on that. I'm more into real estate because real estate make more money for me quicker. Because if I think about those same 4 properties that I'm talking about, my mortgage, maybe mortgage, tax, insurance, say it's $1,500, and I'm still getting $1,500 from the other 3 people times 3. That's $4,500 in income per month. So I got that's 3 people paying $1,500. One goes to the mortgage and one goes to me. So two goes to me, rather, or however you want to do it. I don't care. But that's
Yes.
still if one going to the mortgage and that's $1,500, and I still get $1,500 from my other 2 tenants. That's $300, $3,000 worth of income. If you do that times 12, that's $36,000. A lot of people don't even make $36,000 a year in income, but you will be getting that from your other 2 tenants in income. Now, of course, does it come with if you decide to do a property management? Go ahead and take that $36,000 and minus 10% because that's what they're gonna take. But you still made 32,400, so $32,400. And say you decide to something breaks, you need a roof. Roof is the most expensive, so that's about $20,000. But if you have some insurance, the insurance is gonna pay for that roof. Okay, so make sure you got your insurance and even your maintenance insurance because it will cover a lot of things for you, especially if this is your first home. And if you are a first time home buyer, Man, it's so much money out here. It's so much money out here. In Greenville, South Carolina, you can get up to like $16,000 with two programs combined together that work together. In Spartanburg, if you stay in the north side of Spartanburg, you can get up to like $30,000 just to purchase Spartanburg, South Carolina. In Charlotte, North Carolina, it's like $17,000. It might be more than that now. That was like
Can you tell us? Can you tell us how did you find that information in your local area?
So you can Google down payment assistance program in my area. So for me, my area is Greenville, South Carolina. They have like a home choice, and then they have, and most people have like 311. So if you are not familiar, 311 is the information number for most cities. I know it is for Charlotte, it is for Greenville as well. 311 will tell you just about everything you need to know. We have an Urban League program that also help with down payment assistance. All of these programs, it's like three programs here, and all of that money could be pulled together to help you with your down payment, closing costs, as well as your buy down. When I say buy down, rates now are higher. They're like 6%, 7%. So they may say you pay $2,000 per point, interest point. So you give them $2,000, and now your interest rate was probably be at 7, but you give them $2,000 and they brought it to 6. You give them $4,000, they bring it to 5. You give them $6,000, they bring it to 4%. So now you're paying 4% interest. But really, do you care about the interest? You do not. Why? A lot of people buying houses today is stuck on the interest rate. Yes, it does make you afford less, but if you're in multi-units, your tenant is paying the mortgage. And guess what? You get the tax benefit of writing off all the interest on your taxes. So that means everything you pay in taxes, you get to write it off on your taxes, which means you basically paying 0% interest on your loan.
Yes. So, what I was thinking is going through Navy Federal because I have Navy Federal.
Oh yeah,
And
Navy
they
Federal.
have a program to where they're like $0 at closing costs, and then you end up getting paid. You end up getting paid a check whenever you close on your house, and they'll assist you with your down payment too.
Right.
Um,
So that's how their program works. You get the check back at closing if you use one of their realtors.
Realtors, yeah.
Yep. So the trick to that is you have to use one of their realtors, but if one of your friends, or if you are a realtor, it's an application on Navy Federal website that you can become one of their realtors. The process is really simple. We just don't talk about it a lot. So you can become one of their realtors on their website, fill out the application, and you can now service your friends. And your friend is going to use you because they get money back at closing and they didn't have to come out their pocket anyway. And Bank of America now has 0% in certain areas. They're testing it out, but I know Charlotte is one of those locations.
And
Is too.
I believe, I'm not sure if this is accurate, but I do believe like the requirements for like your score for credit have to be for that program have to be between 580 and a 640.
That's most programs. Most home buyers do start at a 580. Would I recommend you buying a house at 580? No,
Yeah.
I just wouldn't. Because one, they're gonna make you jump through a whole lot of hoops and loops and all that, and who want to do all that? Get somebody else to do it. So I wouldn't recommend that. But most across the board, you're looking at a 620, 640. If you can't pay your rent where you at now, then you need to focus on getting even if your credit is good, right? Because a lot of people say, oh, my credit is good. But if you're barely making your rent now, they're not going to give you a mortgage because they are going to look at your bank statements. That's when they ask you for them 2 bank statements. They're not just looking for, how much money you got. They're looking for your behaviors, how you spend money. Okay? So if you ain't got no money, they ain't checking for you. So a lot of people like, oh, yeah, I want to go. Credit is a factor. Most people only think it's credit, but you got to have some money because they're trying to make sure that you have either a reserve, like at least one mortgage payment, at least being able to pay for your inspections. Inspections mean home inspections, bug inspection, termite inspection, different things like that. If you're going into buying a home buyer, buying a home, it says if you're trying to become a home buyer, it says, please hold on, I can't really see it. Oh, please send me a book, Jesus.
I'm weak.
So
Hey,
my
Becky.
book is Elevate Your Credit Score. Okay, it just so happens to be sitting on my lap. But Elevate Your Credit Score. It is sitting on. This is about your credit because your credit is important. Your credit is your leverage. Most time we don't think about credit in the form of leverage. Credit, when my sisters say it could be a stream of income because we've been taught to use our credit to get stuff, meaning cars that we got to pay for, houses that single family we got to live in and pay for. But we have not been taught to use our credit as leverage, meaning I buy a car, but I put it on Turo. It makes me money. I buy a house, but I rent it out. I rent out one of the bedrooms. I live in one bedroom. Some people make your credit may or your income may not afford you to be able to buy, a multi-unit. Look into a roommate or look into commercial because you may not be able to buy a 1, 2, 3, or 4 unit, but if you have 5 units or more, you can get into commercial, and then the income is based on what that property is
Ooh.
producing
So talking
more
about
so than your
commercial,
income.
talking
Say that
about
again?
commercial, talking about commercial investments. Remember I was telling you about the Fundrise account where you can invest as little as $10, and you're basically investing into commercial real estate and residential real estate, and you basically own like a tiny percentage of that property, and you're making profit off of that investment. Um, I would say that would be like a long term account unless you feel like you want to go the other route as far as paying for getting a mortgage and renting the property out.
Right. So, two ways to do commercial. Well, it's more than one way to do. It's more than one way to skin a cat on anything that you do. So with commercial, like she said, you can do what they call REITs, REIT. And with those, is basically what she's saying is owning a piece of, it's kind of like stocks, but for real estate. So you're owning a piece of a property and you're getting a return based on the income that that property produced. You can do that for residential. Most time they don't do it for residential properties. They only do it for commercial because it gets more income. So,
Yeah, it's called Fundrise.
and it's Fundrise is the name of the company. Hey, Rebecca. Yes, we see your comment.
My handwriting is ugly.
I don't. Oh, I see your first one. Hey, sweetie.
But yeah, so to make sure that your credit is established, especially if you don't know where to start as far as having money to invest or your income is not where it needs to be. Hold on.
And that's called Fundrise. So Fundrise allows you is a company you can start with just $10. So a lot of people may say, "Hey, how do I get in real estate?" This is one way. Getting in Fundrise is one way that you can get into real estate without a whole lot of money. Yes, your return on your investment may not be tremendous, but it's better than you going to buy a shirt and your return on investment is zero. Okay. Um, and you can also get a 5 unit or more. So you can acquire or you can build a 5 unit or more, and that's considered commercial. And then based on what the rents in the area are, if you was to rent out, 4 of those 5 units, and you live in one, owner occupied. The reason why I say owner occupied, because your interest rate is lower if it's owner occupied versus investor. So that's the major difference. If it's owner occupied, your income is counted, but with the commercial property, it's not counted as much because it is based on what that commercial property can produce income wise based on the area that that property is in.
So
So
let's go
those
back.
are 2 ways.
Let's go back to owner occupied. So say I wanted to go get a mortgage from a bank or whatever, and I wanted to do real estate investment and rent that property out. The interest rate would be higher because it's not owner occupied.
Yes.
Okay.
If it's just an investment property, so if it's just an investment property and you tell them, they're going to say, is this your primary residence? And you say no, it's going to count as an investment, which means your interest rate is going to be higher. But like I said again, whether it's not your first investment or not, once you get your interest paper back at the end of the year, you can write all that interest off on your taxes.
Now, okay, one more question. Is it illegal to say, yes, you're going to be living in it, but you don't, and you end up renting it out? Is that illegal?
Say that again.
So if the bank asks you, is this going to be your primary residence? Are you going to be occupied? Are you going to be occupying this property? And you say yes, but you end up doing, to get that low interest rate, but you end up doing renting the property out. Is that illegal?
So yes, it is illegal to lie and immoral.
I
But
mean, not technically lie, but like, what if something
now
comes up
it's
with this?
different. So if your intentions were to live in the property, so if your intentions when you sign on the dotted line for your loan to say, yes, this is going to be owner occupied. But say something happens, say your mom gets sick or something happened and you end up not being able to live in it at that point, and you have to rent it out, depends on the loan product. You are able to do that. It does not have to be owner occupied, even though the loan states that it is.
Got it.
That's if something happened, but you don't want to be around here lying. Okay?
No, we're not gonna lie.
She laughing. She like
We're not gonna lie though.
But the thing is, if it's owner occupied, because even if it's not owner occupied, like I'm saying, if it's not owner occupied, you still getting the interest. You still are able to file it on your taxes, your business taxes. So I mean, it's still like you're getting a 0% interest rate loan anyway, because they're gonna give it back to you at the end of the year with your taxes if you do things the right way. Now, if you do them the wrong way, you don't get that tax benefit. Wrong meaning you don't claim you had no income. You trying to do everything under the table. Because with real estate, let's be honest, it's easy to do a lot of stuff under the table, but you can't retire that way because you need your taxes to be able to do that. And they do have DCR loans, but I'll get into that. If y'all take my real estate course, they do have DCR loans, which you don't need any income or verification, but they do have a higher down payment. And you cannot use down payment assistance.
I do want to talk about so if you don't have multiple streams of income or don't have that much income to invest, you can always use your credit and other people money, like getting a loan, credit card.
They do have high interest. I mean, they high interest, but they do have private lenders. So a lot of people use private lenders for several reasons. One, your credit might not be all the way there. Yeah. Two, you may not have all the money you need or all the income. Don't let that stuff scare you from getting into investing, because hard money is expensive. It's more higher than getting it from the bank, but they have less requirements and it's easier to obtain. So with the hard money, you can close on a property within 7 days, especially if you get into a relationship with a hard money guy. So if you take my real estate course, I have a hard money guy, and he's gonna lend y'all money to do these flips, and you don't have, and he ain't checking no credit. Okay, he ain't checking no credit. He ain't worried about your credit. He don't care about what's in your bank account as long as the deal makes sense.
All right, so to conclude my presentation, what I want from everyone that's watching, especially people that's my age and younger, I just want I want to start like a accountability group to where we, making sure that we holding each other accountable and making sure that we taking the steps for us to have financial freedom. And if anyone need help with credit, Sharika is your girl. If anyone wants to start a business, she's definitely your girl again. She did business coaching, credit. If you don't want to do the research on your own and repair your credit, you can always go through her. But I definitely want to start this accountability group so we could just hold each other accountable and make sure that we are taking these steps to be financial free and not just watching this video and not writing any notes down. Because when you talk to Sharika, when I talk to Sharika, I just I'm just a sponge. I'm just asking questions and she answering them, and I'm just soaking it all in, writing, taking my notes, and then executing my plan, making sure that I do exactly what she tell me to do. Like as far as my credit, I've asked her so many questions about credit. Like every year, it's always something, and I've asked her so many questions about credit, and I've applied all that stuff to my credit, and I started at like 490,
It was
and
in
I
the
have
hole,
gotten my
y'all.
credit all the way up to 620. So not to tell my business, but I mean I feel like that's a long way to go from
It
490
is.
to so.
It is. And I think the accountability group will be good. So when she started accountability group, she gonna put me in there because I don't mind answering questions because I want to be to my the younger generation what no one knew to tell me. I always want to be that. So yeah, start that accountability group so we can get in there and start helping the people.
All right. If you have any questions, you can always hit me up or Sharika on any platform. She on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. And any questions, we'll be able to answer those for you.
And we thank y'all so much for tuning in. And y'all can see my information at the bottom. So if you watch this video, that is all my information screaming at the bottom. And we just thank you. We know it ain't Friday because this is Friday Night Live, but we thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Friday Night Live. But we are going to be bringing financial literacy to the community. Until next time.
Bye.